Right now, I'm on a website for the WordPress plugin, bbPress. This plugin is one of the most advanced plugins out there. It allows you to turn your WordPress site into a forum. One of the most prominent features of bbPress is that developers can write plugins for this plugin. Here's the thing though, bbPress doesn't implement its own plugin API. bbPress takes advantage of WordPress's plugin API and just adds its own filters and action hooks. Writing a plugin for bbPress is the same as writing a plugin for WordPress. As we discussed previously, bbPress just uses the do action and apply filters function for creating its own custom hooks. Let's say that we publish our plugin and it has now become insanely popular. It's become so popular we're getting requests for new features daily. Unfortunately, some of these requests deviate from the main purpose of the plugin. We don't want to deviate from the main purpose, nor do we want to limit the functionality of this plugin. So how do we solve this? We can use the plugin API to allow developers to further extend our plugin with more plugins. In the resource section, I provide a link to the plugin API. WordPress provides a handful of functions to use the plugin API. Actually, we've already been using it from the very beginning. The add action and add filter are functions we've used plenty of times. You already know how to use these functions, but let's take a look at how you would go about using them in a more practical way. I want to let developers extend the rating function, so let's open up the rating function file now. Right before the JSON is outputted, let's call a function called doAction. This function takes in the name of the action we want to trigger. This can be a custom defined one or one available in WordPress. Let's enter a custom one and name it recipe rated. The second parameter is optional and it's a list of parameters we want to pass to any function that hooks into this hook. I'm going to pass in an array with post ID, rating, and the IP of the user. That's it. We don't have to do anything else. Now any functions can use the add action function and hook into this action hook. Even if this hook is used by functions, WordPress will not throw any errors and will run as usual. Just be sure to let other developers know that this action hook is available. Let's test this out by developing another plugin. This plugin will email us whenever a user rates a recipe. We're going to take advantage of the hook we created earlier to do this. Inside the plugin folder, create a file called emailrecipe.php. This will contain our new plugin. I'm not going to bother creating a folder or try and organize this plugin because this plugin will be very simple. It'll only be a few lines of code. I'm going to set the name of this plugin to Recipe Email Rating and set the description as this plugin extends the recipe plugin. Let's call the add action function and use our custom recipe rated hook. Previously, we've always passed in a string name of the function we want to call. This time, we'll actually pass in an anonymous function. Anonymous functions are special to PHP and not WordPress. They're only available in PHP 5.3 or above, so I can't recommend that you use anonymous functions in production plugins if you plan on supporting versions earlier than 5.3. Our anonymous function will receive an array about the rating. We want our new plugin to email the author of this recipe about the new rating. Let's get the info about the post by using the getPost function. You pass this function the ID of the post. This function will return the data about the post. We can now get the author email by using the getTheAuthorMeta function. This function has two parameters. The first is the field we want to grab. This would be user email. The second parameter is the ID of the author. Our post data will contain a field named post author, which contains the author ID. Now we can compose the subject and message. The subject will be, your recipe has received a new rating. The message will be, your recipe, followed by the title of the post, has received a new rating, and then we pass in the rating. The last thing we need to do is actually send this as an email. WordPress provides a function called WPMail. Why use this function instead of PHP's mail function? Well, this function is actually pluggable, meaning other plugins can take advantage of modifying the email and its info. The parameters are the same as PHP's mail function. The first parameter is the recipient's email. The second and third parameters are the subject and message, respectively. Our plugin is now ready. You should keep in mind that this won't work on most local servers. Sending emails require SMTP, so you will need to test this on a live site.